What's up, guys? It's Goat the Great, and yeah, here with another video. It's kind of weird. I was thinking to myself, maybe I should get an intro, maybe I need something like Next Heads or a screaming orgasm like yeah. But nah, there's no flair to my videos, there's nothing that stands out about my stuff, and I'm thinking maybe I should do some stuff that makes it stand out. I'll think about it. I'm a little bit too lazy for that. If you want stuff that stands out, go look at other channels, goddammit. I like to be the vanilla of the YouTube world. I'm like the paint on the wall. You just watch me dry, That's how I am. I'm sorry. I'm not exciting. What can I do? I'm sorry. Okay, I'm sorry. Anyway, what I wanted to speak about, specifically, was the day one dilemma. Now, as you guys, and I mentioned this on another video, maybe, I don't know, a couple of weeks ago, I don't know. Anyway, the day one dilemma. Anyone that is used to this channel, anyone that comes to this channel on a regular basis, anyone that checks out my material on a regular basis, you guys know that I upload a lot of new stuff. I mean, unboxing videos aren't really exciting. Like I said, don't come here for excitement, but on this channel, you can usually expect to see the newest games unboxed, whether it be Xbox, PS3. Not really playing my Wii anymore. I'm done with that console. I think I'm done with Nintendo as a whole altogether. But yeah, on this channel, you could generally find new content, whether it be video game unboxings. A lot of you guys that have subscribed came because of my early previews. Like, I might show games maybe a day, 2 days, 3 days before they come out, and a lot of times what I do is I'll show you the first 15 minutes of the game, first 20 minutes, maybe the first 30 minutes, just to give you an idea of what to expect, give you some first impressions, my initial reactions. And then if you like what you see when the game comes out, you can go pick it up. Some people choose to avoid those videos because those videos could be considered spoilers and they don't want to spoil anything for themselves, and I can understand that, so totally understood. But what I have been realizing is a trend, a disturbing trend, and that disturbing trend has led me to think, you know what, I'm probably not going to be making as many day one purchases anymore, and that's the day one dilemma that I speak of. Now, in the day one dilemma, what you run the risk of, being someone that plays video games often, or even someone that's putting video game footage up on YouTube. As a YouTuber, the dilemma you're going to run into is the fact that when you finally do acquire the game, since you're not acquiring it on day one, when you finally do acquire the game and you put up that gameplay, you're probably going to not get any views, simply because 100,000 people have already uploaded similar videos. 100,000 unboxings have already hit YouTube, and at that point it's no longer new. No one really cares. The excitement level dies off, and people really don't care to see your video. I mean, what's going to separate your content from everyone else's, other than maybe the little comment here or there that you may make? And is that really worth sacrificing another 15 or 10 minutes to watch this person's video when you watched like 2 or 3 others a week and a half, 2-3 weeks ago when the game first came out? Probably not. So that's one of the risks that I'm running, and it's a risk that I'm all too ready to take, because regardless of it being new or old, I don't really get views like that anyway, so it makes no difference. The second risk that you're running is because of the constant steady flow at which games come out. You run the risk of maybe having games pile up on you. Like, if a game came out 3 or 4 weeks ago and you got it 3 or 4 weeks ago, chances are you would have already come to the end of the game, or you're pretty close to the end, and you can prepare yourself for something new that may be on the cusp of being released. Getting it late, you run the risk of having games stack on each other. But then again, if you're not getting that game on release day, I guess you don't run that risk, because that new game, you could wait a month or so later. You're probably going to end up just missing out on games when it's all said and done. But then again, maybe not. But here's my reasoning as to why I no longer am going to be doing a lot of early adoption when it comes to new video games. And let me just clarify, it's not that I won't buy any game on release day. It's just that I won't buy most games on release day or pre-release. Some games, without question, are day one purchases for me. And off the top of my head, for 2012, I can already think of games like Mass Effect 3, BioShock 3, or BioShock Infinite, whatever you want to call it, Max Payne 3, quite possibly Hitman Absolution. Games like that. Is it called Absolution? I don't remember the name of it. But anyway, the new Hitman game. Games like that I will probably purchase on day one. Why? Because all those games mean something to me. I loved the older Hitman games. Loved Max Payne. I'm actually in the process of probably playing through Max Payne 1 and 2, since they actually work on my 360 and I have the original Xbox copies. So I guess just to renew it for myself, I'll play Max Payne all over again. I beat 1, but I never beat 2, so why not? I still have the copies here. But games like that, definitely, no question about it, day one purchase. But then there are other games that are going to come out, and I'm probably just going to let them roll into a period where the price drops before I buy it. And here's what I'm realizing. Like, if you pay attention to game sales the way I do, there's a trend where a game will release, and literally 3 to 4 weeks after that game is released, you can find that game for $10, $15, $20, $30 cheaper than it was when it originally released. And I'm starting to think, hey, if I can get games 2 or 3 weeks later and it be half the price that it was when it originally came out, I'm saving that much more money. What am I going to do with that money? Who knows? It might go back into my gaming hobby. It might go into my photography hobby. It might go into the bank. I may use it to buy clothes, travel, whatever. But the fact is, the prices of games are plummeting much too fast for any game or most games to warrant a day one purchase. Case in point, Saints Row the Third. I purposely didn't buy that game on release day because I wanted to see what would happen with the price, and I just purchased it. Unfortunately, the Xbox version was still $60 at Best Buy, but for some reason the PS3 version was $39.99, so I bought that literally 2.5 to 3 weeks after the game released for $20 less than it originally retailed for. Another game that I held out for was Need for Speed The Run. When the game originally came out, it was $59.99. On Black Friday, the game was $29.99. So I spent half the money that I would have had I bought it on release day. And seeing that, it just no longer is worth it to me. Why buy a game early when 2 to 3 weeks later it's just going to drop in price? You end up feeling like a douche. Like, God, if I had just waited, I would have been able to save some money. And I could have put that money towards maybe a new game. And when it happens consistently the way it has been happening, it really just doesn't make sense to buy games early. It's a waste of money. And even more so, if you were to just take the price out of the equation, remove the price altogether and just forget that. Let's say money is of no object to you. You can spend money as frivolously as you need to, and it would make no difference in your life. Pay attention to day one release games and the quality of those games. I can right now point out a ton of games, including games such as Skyrim on the PS3 specifically, Battlefield 3, Modern Warfare 3. These are all games that came out with huge problems, and anyone that adopted these games early got screwed. You buy it early and you're paying full price. That's the first thing. You're paying full price for these games, and then right out of the gate, the multiplayer is broken, the online is broken. There are a bunch of people that they found some glitch or some exploit, and they're using that to their advantage, so it makes your experience just not, it's an unenjoyable experience. You have games like Skyrim, where I heard on the PS3, once you get a few hours in, the frame rate drops, the textures start having loading issues. It's getting out of hand. It's as though these developers are just rushing everything out of the gate, and then they're waiting for people that pay for these $60 demos or betas to report back the problem to them. Then they take another month and a half fixing it by deploying this massive patch that then has to be certified by either Sony or Microsoft on their respective consoles before they're allowed to be released. Now, once they are released, you're in the position of having to download this massive 1 gig update just so that your game works properly, and you just paid $60 a month ago for this game, and it's just being brought up to a respectable playable level after you've paid full price for it. So I think I'm going to save myself the money, and I'm going to save myself playing all these crappy unfinished products that are going to eventually become good products, but I'm going to be the $60 guinea pig to the industry in order for that game to become worthy of that purchase. So the way I see it is, I gain 2 things by not buying games early. 1, I'm saving money, which is the most important of them all, and 2, I'm getting a better product. So here I am waltzing into a Best Buy or Amazon.com or Toys R Us or Walmart or Target, wherever you purchase your games from. Here I am waltzing into those places literally a month after everyone else, and I'm getting it for half the price that they paid for it, and I'm getting a finished product, something that they didn't get. They're dealing with the stress of purchasing the game early and having to deal with all its bugs and glitches and exploits, and they paid full price for it. So that's where I stand on day one purchases. It's going to be a rarity for me. So, you know, anyone that came to this channel because I usually am on the cutting edge of releases with unboxings and early previews, I'm sorry. You're probably still going to see those things, but it's going to be much more inconsistent than it has been. I'm going to probably be buying 5 to 10 games a year, if that much, on day one. And the rest of the games that I get, I will get it way after release. That's going to remove the excitement level, because what's the point in unboxing a game that's a month old? And what's the point in showing the first 15 minutes of a game that's a month old? No one cares. So unfortunately, that might mean that the quality of this channel may reduce as a result, but that's a risk I'm willing to take. Like I said, it's not as though this channel is seeing massive growth. It's not as though this channel in any way provides any sort of financial income to me. You know, it's not, there's nothing that I gain that would justify putting up with bad products and full price on bad products. So for my personal enjoyment and such like that, I'm probably just going to cut back on it. I'll still be making videos. As you can see, I have overcame many challenges on this channel, including my now low limit of 15 that I can't go above, and I'm still making videos. So it's not going to change. I guess I'm just gonna have to become a bit more creative with the things that I do, since I no longer am going to be able to do those as regularly as I would like to. The content is going to have to change and reflect something a bit different. Anyway, that's what I wanted to speak on. It's been me, Goat the Great, and that is my day one dilemma. I hope you guys liked the video. If you did, feel free to do as you please, whether it be a thumbs up, thumbs down, comment, don't comment, whatever it is. I just appreciate the fact that you watched. Anyway, it's Goat the Great, and I'm out of here. Have a good one, guys. Peace.